The courtroom fell silent as federal agents carried away the man every business magazine had called America's most trusted billionaire. Reporters shouted accusations. Cameras flashed like lightning. Yet Ethan Caldwell never resisted. He simply looked toward the crowded gallery, locked eyes with his teenage daughter, and quietly whispered, "Stay with the truth." Nobody watching understood why a man worth $12 billion accepted handcuffs without a fight. Outside the courthouse in downtown Chicago, headlines spread faster than wildfire. Investors dumped Caldwell Industries stock within minutes. Television anchors declared that another billionaire had finally been exposed. Social media celebrated his downfall before a single piece of evidence had been examined. Competitors smiled behind polished interviews, pretending to mourn while secretly celebrating. Inside a gray holding room, Ethan remained calm. His expensive suit was wrinkled, but his posture never changed. An FBI agent slid a folder across the metal table. "You can make this easier," the agent said. Ethan glanced at the papers, but never touched them. "I won't confess to crimes that never happened." The agent sighed. "Then somebody powerful wants you buried." Those words lingered long after the door closed. 3 years earlier, Ethan had become a symbol of the American dream. Raised in a struggling neighborhood outside Des Moines, Iowa, he built a logistics software company from a rented garage before expanding into transportation, renewable energy, and emergency infrastructure. Employees admired him because layoffs were always his last option. Communities respected him because hospitals, schools, and veterans programs quietly received millions through anonymous donations. Only a handful of people knew those donations came from him. Among the executives closest to Ethan stood Victor Harlan, the polished chief financial officer everyone trusted. Victor spoke confidently, dressed perfectly, and knew exactly how to impress board members. Publicly, he praised Ethan's leadership. Privately, he believed the company deserved someone more ruthless. "We're leaving billions on the table," Victor often argued. "We're building something that lasts," Ethan calmly replied. Victor always smiled. The smile never reached his eyes. One rainy evening, Ethan received an anonymous package at his home overlooking Lake Michigan. Inside rested a single flash drive and one handwritten sentence: "Trust nobody inside the executive floor." Before Ethan could examine the drive, the home security system suddenly failed. Every screen turned black. Minutes later, armed intruders broke through the back entrance. His longtime security chief, Marcus Reed, reacted instantly. "Take Olivia and go." Marcus blocked the hallway while Ethan rushed upstairs toward his 16-year-old daughter. Olivia stood frozen beside her bedroom door, hearing glass shatter below. "Dad, what's happening?" "No questions. Stay beside me." They escaped through a concealed emergency exit leading toward the lakeside dock, just as police sirens echoed in the distance. The attackers disappeared before officers arrived. Nothing valuable had been stolen. Only Ethan's office had been searched. The flash drive remained inside his coat pocket. The following morning, cybersecurity experts discovered someone had remotely erased enormous sections of the company's financial archive only minutes before the break-in. Millions of backup files vanished forever. Victor appeared genuinely shocked. "This could destroy investor confidence," he warned. Ethan watched him carefully. "Unless someone wanted exactly that." Victor maintained steady eye contact. "You think someone inside did this?" Before Ethan answered, federal investigators entered company headquarters carrying sealed warrants. Employees stared in disbelief as office doors were locked and computer servers seized. Someone had reported massive fraud involving government disaster contracts. The signatures appeared authentic. The accounting trails seemed perfect. Every document pointed directly toward Ethan Caldwell. News helicopters circled above headquarters, while television commentators declared the investigation the largest corporate corruption case in years. Board members who once praised Ethan suddenly demanded his resignation. Banks froze credit lines. Charities quietly removed his name from donor lists. Even longtime friends stopped answering calls. Late that night, Ethan finally examined the mysterious flash drive using an isolated laptop inside Marcus Reed's secure workshop. The screen revealed thousands of encrypted financial records. Marcus frowned. This isn't evidence against you. No. Ethan's heartbeat slowed. It's evidence against someone else. Before another file could open, the laptop suddenly displayed a red warning. Remote access detected. Marcus immediately unplugged the computer. Too late. Every file disappeared before their eyes. Except one. A blurry surveillance image remained frozen on the screen. It showed Victor Harlan standing inside a federal records office, nearly 8 months before the investigation had ever begun. Marcus whispered, "That's impossible." Ethan stared at the image without blinking. Then his phone rang. The caller ID displayed only 2 chilling words. Unknown witness. The phone vibrated only once before falling silent. Ethan answered anyway. A calm female voice spoke without hesitation. "If Victor discovers this call happened, another innocent person will die." The line went quiet. "Who is this?" Ethan asked. "My name doesn't matter. The evidence does. Someone inside the Department of Procurement has been feeding him sealed federal files for years." "How do you know?" "Because the signatures they used belong to my husband." Silence filled the room. He refused to help them. 3 months later, they ruled his death an accident. The call ended before Ethan could ask another question. Marcus immediately traced the number. Nothing. No records. No location. No subscriber. Whoever she was, she knew exactly how to disappear. The next morning, Ethan voluntarily surrendered to federal authorities instead of hiding. Reporters interpreted the decision as guilt. Victor stood before cameras outside headquarters. "This is a heartbreaking day for everyone who believed in Mr. Caldwell." His voice cracked perfectly. "If these allegations are true, justice must come first." Employees watching television lowered their heads. Many believed him. Inside federal detention, Ethan quietly requested one meeting. Not with attorneys. With Special Agent Rachel Monroe. She entered carrying a thick evidence binder. "You still claim someone framed you?" "I don't expect belief," Ethan replied. "Only one chance." He slid the surviving surveillance image across the table. Rachel examined it carefully. "This could be manipulated." "It could, but check the visitor logs for that building." Rachel said nothing. 2 days later she returned. Her expression had changed. The logs were erased. Ethan nodded. "Exactly. But one security guard remembered Victor by name." For the first time, Rachel questioned everything about the investigation. She quietly assembled an independent forensic team outside the original task force. Within days, hidden financial transfers surfaced between shell companies, political consultants, and overseas accounts. None belonged to Ethan. Every trail curved toward Victor. Yet there was still no proof connecting him directly. Until Olivia made an unexpected discovery. While packing boxes from her father's office, she noticed an old fountain pen rolling beneath a cabinet. Inside its hollow barrel rested a tiny memory card. Ethan had hidden emergency backups years earlier without telling anyone, believing every leader should prepare for impossible situations. Marcus inserted the card into an isolated computer. Hundreds of automatically recorded boardroom meetings appeared. One recording froze everyone. Victor's voice filled the room. "If Caldwell refuses, manufacture the documents. Once federal investigators move, the board will replace him within weeks." Another executive nervously answered, "What if someone talks?" Victor smiled. "Dead people don't testify." Marcus looked toward Ethan. "That's conspiracy." Rachel corrected him. "That's enough for federal racketeering." Armed with authenticated recordings, prosecutors quietly reopened every sealed file. The original investigative team suddenly became subjects instead of investigators. Search warrants spread across 3 states. Corporate offices were raided before sunrise. Hidden servers were recovered from a warehouse outside St. Louis. Encrypted messages revealed years of bribery, witness intimidation, evidence fabrication, and illegal market manipulation. Victor tried boarding a private jet bound for the Cayman Islands. Federal marshals stopped him moments before takeoff. For the first time since the scandal began, cameras captured Victor without confidence. His hands shook. His tailored smile disappeared. During trial, jurors watched recordings bank transfers, deleted emails, and testimony from frightened insiders who finally chose honesty over fear. Then the anonymous woman entered the courtroom. Her name was Sarah Whitmore. She carried her late husband's original notebook. Every meeting, payment, threat, and forged signature had been documented by hand before his death. She faced Victor without trembling. "You stole my husband." Victor looked away. Weeks later, the verdict arrived. Guilty on every major count. The sentence exceeded 40 years in federal prison. Several corrupt officials received lengthy convictions alongside him. Outside the courthouse, reporters surrounded Ethan once again. This time, no handcuffs waited, only microphones. A journalist asked the question millions wanted answered. "After everything they took from you, do you want revenge?" Ethan looked toward Olivia, standing nearby, then toward former employees who had returned despite everything. Finally, he answered quietly, "Revenge builds another prison. Accountability builds another future." The statement spread across America within hours. Investors gradually returned. Employees came back. Communities welcomed him home. Yet Ethan refused extravagant celebrations. Instead, he converted one of his largest corporate campuses into a national ethics and leadership institute, offering free training, scholarships, and legal protection for whistleblowers willing to expose corruption before lives were destroyed. On opening day, Ethan stood before hundreds of young entrepreneurs. The applause lasted nearly a minute. He waited until complete silence returned. "Wealth can buy comfort," he said. "It can never replace character." The darkest part of becoming a billionaire isn't making money. It's discovering how many people will sell their soul, trying to take it from someone who refuses to sell theirs. The audience rose together, not because America had witnessed another billionaire become richer, because it had witnessed a good man remain honorable when losing everything would have been easier. Long after the headlines faded, people remembered only one truth. Justice arrived slowly, but arrived.